Good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 125 of SDGC. As always, I am one of your hosts, John, aka at Mr. Megative on Twitter. And check out this panel we got tonight, guys. So we have two guys on the podcast who have not been on in a very long time. Regular members. Jay is back. Jay, what's up, my man?
Dude, not much. I've been playing a lot of Forza, living my car dreams. It's been a real good time.
I'm just glad you're back, man.
Yeah.
I'm just glad you're back.
It's been a while. Yeah, I went to E3, as all of you probably know, and I feel like I need to take a break from all this. I've been doing behind the scenes stuff, so I haven't been like gone, but like it's good to be back like on the forefront. So
it is very good to have you back. And just for everybody who just want to kind of hammer that home, Jay has been running our social media account as he always does, and doing a lot of editing video work behind the scenes. So Jay, we really appreciate you doing that, man.
Thank you, man.
And, dude,
it's never a problem.
You are a hero among men.
It's just really good to have you back, man. It really, really is.
I'm glad to be back.
And somebody else who is back for the first time in a long time, Maddie, what's up, my man?
Hey. Well, it hasn't been that long for you and me because we were just talking for like 2 hours last night. But.
Yeah, well, yeah. So Maddie was streaming Assassin's Creed Odyssey last night, and I was asking questions. And of course, we had the quest designer for Assassin's Creed Odyssey pop up in chat yesterday, and of course I could not stay connected to chat.
Dickheads blew it.
Yeah, so like we kept getting disconnected from chat. And he was asking like after the fact, I saw it. He was like, so I guess there's nobody in the chat and there's nobody watching the chat. I was like, God fucking damn it, are you serious? But the good news is that I hit him up behind the scenes and we're working to get him on the podcast. So
Yo,
good fucking times right there, good times. And of course, as always, I got my boy Derek up in the corner. Derek, what's up, my man?
not much, man. Not much. I'm just happy to be here, like every Thursday.
You've got a series of videos that's coming.
Yeah. So one of the things I wanted to do when I joined was I wanted to do a series of like video essays, editorials, soapboxy kind of things that are going to take longer for each video to make, but they'll be like a little bit more long form video content. The one I'm working out that's most likely to be out first is one about horror in video games. What makes it so long lasting, what makes it effective, what makes it different from horror and other forms of media. So I'm scripting that out right now, and I'm really hoping to have that up as soon as possible since we're in the spoopy month right now. So
hell yeah. And by the way, that video that you put up announcing that was fucking hilarious, dude. I almost died. Like that was really good.
I genuinely hurt myself a couple times filming the second version.
That was
turns out there's no convincing way to make it look like you got punched in the face unless you get punched in the face.
Dude, I almost couldn't fucking hold it together when we were doing that. That was fantastic.
I gotta tell you what, my if my girlfriend had any frustrations with me before she punched me in the face for that video, she feels a lot better now.
So here's the weird thing. Like I'm looking at the stream and we're live, and I know that there are people in chat because I've got the app open, but I don't see the actual chat on the OBS. Kind of.
Did you screw up the chat?
No, I didn't. I didn't touch it. I didn't touch it. I don't know what happened to it. I didn't touch it. I've even got the chat on top. I've got the chat window on top, and I don't know what happened to it. So I'm just going to have to monitor the chat on my little phone app here. And I want to introduce our two guests tonight. So we'll introduce Justin first because Justin has been here before. But Justin from Constantly Calibrating is back.
Hey.
What's
how's
up,
it going?
man?
Not much. Rebranded. Finally leaned into it. Made a dumb video to go along with it. And yeah, I'm here.
So
it's the way to do it.
So you're embracing Justin Glorious then?
I am. That is my new handle for everything, except for the things I can't get changed right now.
So you know what? I did notice that you changed your Twitter handle to Justin Glorious. I'm glad. I think it fits you.
Thank you, man.
I noticed you're not wearing the robe or the actual the belt tied around your forehead. So I'm a little disappointed in that, to be honest with you.
No, you gotta listen. Like Glorious One comes out at times. I'm Justin. Like I hear of him. I'm never in the same place as him though for some odd reason. I mean, I hear he's a great guy.
That's so weird, man. He's kind of cocky
we'll see
though.
what happens.
He's not very good. I mean, I beat him at the Kind of Funny tournament. He couldn't.
That's true. I was there.
He couldn't pass muster. Yeah, Manny was there. Like Manny was watching it.
I can bear with it.
He said you sucked at Overcooked too, though.
I did suck really bad at Overcooked.
To be fair, everybody sucks at Overcooked, though.
Dude, I know some fucking Overcooked savants. I'm not gonna lie.
My cat's really good at it.
Did you say your cat's really good at it?
What?
It's really good overcooked.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, you know,
Video,
hey, I'm not
please.
going to question it. I'm not going to question it. And down in the middle, right underneath Manny, on my screen here, we have Manny Perez. So Manny, this is Manny's first time on the podcast. Manny, you and I
It
met.
is.
You and I met at PAX West.
Yes.
Had never met you before. Didn't know much about you, but I got to know you, dude. You're a solid guy. We hung
you.
out. Well, we hung out at the Messenger roof party.
That's
up on
true.
the top.
What a night.
In that
It was a good night.
in that sweet VIP section, Justin was
Yeah.
up there too.
Yeah, I
was.
remember. Yeah, just I think I had 2 full plates of poutine that night.
Did that? So the funny thing about that
It was
poutine,
delicious.
Genevieve Miller told me
Sounds
not to.
dangerous.
Genevieve, you know, who's Greg Miller's wife, she told me not to touch the. She's like that's not no. She said
yeah,
that's
so
American
I got a
poutine. She
plate.
was like, yeah, don't do that.
I got a plate and I sat down next to one of the designers from Paper Cult Games, and I was just like, "Hey, is this the real thing?" And he just like leaned in really close, and he was like, "No, it's not." And I was like, "I don't know, man. This is delicious. It tastes so salty. I'm gonna eat all of it." And he's like, and then he explained to me like the real thing and like the cuisine scene in Quebec City and Montreal. It was from a learning perspective, it was awesome. But apparently, I was eating the fake stuff. Yeah, unfortunate.
So Derek, can you do me a favor, my man, real quick?
Yeah, what's up?
The Twitch app kind of sucks, so if you guys could just kind of keep an eye on the chat and let me know if we got any questions. We normally get
I got you.
questions.
I'll track down questions
Thanks.
for the end.
I appreciate that, man. Manny, before we get going, can you tell us a little bit about Umber Gaming, dude?
Absolutely, yeah.
Please.
So, like John mentioned, my name is Manny Perez. I'm the co-founder and one of the producers at Ombre Gaming. We are a games media website where we have what we call news, reviews, and industry observations. We also have a weekly podcast, comes out every Wednesday morning, and we have an awesome team. We just hit our 1-year anniversary on Monday. So we have a team of 6 now. Some focus on writing, some focus on the podcasts, interviews, all that good stuff. So yeah, it's been awesome. We've been doing this crazy thing for a year now, and we're really stoked about it.
That's fucking awesome, dude. I've been catching up on what you guys have been doing, and I absolutely love what you guys
Thanks,
are. Yeah,
dude.
dude, seriously, you guys do really good work, man. Are you all localized or are you spread out like?
So we're
different-
spread out. Yeah, we're in 3 different states. Yeah, so I'm here in DC. We have folks in New York City, and then we have folks in Boston as well.
That's awesome, dude. That's
Yeah.
fucking outstanding. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, man. I've been
Of
wanting to
course,
get you on.
man.
I've been
Yeah,
wanting to get you
thanks
on
for-
for a minute. So
Yeah, thanks for thinking of me, man. I'm happy to be here.
So as everybody knows, kind of a slow week this week. There wasn't a whole lot happening, although we did get some pretty cool stuff that dropped within the last 24 hours. I want to talk about what we've all been playing, and if you guys don't mind, I just want to start real quick with Valkyria Chronicles 4, which is so. Has anybody else here played this but me?
Not yet. I've been holding off.
Played the
I played-
demo.
Yeah, I played like the first mission in the demo.
Okay, so has anybody here played the first Valkyria Chronicles?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Loved
all
it.
right. So I am fucking. Oops, sorry, bumped my little Kratos statue there. I am fucking in love with this game. I'm about maybe I want to say 25 to 30 hours in, and I'm planning on finishing it by Monday night. I probably already have it done because I play games obsessively on my Switch because I can take it anywhere. But I've just been so busy this week. It doesn't really move the needle in any meaningful way from. I mean, it's Valkyria. It's a better looking Valkyria Chronicles. You know, it's even set during the same time period. The storyline of this game is happening parallel to the story of Valkyria Chronicles. The first one. So there's references to. Like Prince Maximilian, who's the villain in the first one. There's references to him. You're fighting the Sem Empire. It's the exact same war, but this time the Federation is kind of pushing forward into Imperial territory, so it's not set in Gallia.
It's a
The
different front in the same war, basically.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
There's a new class. There's a Grenadier class. Aside from that, like the gameplay is largely the same, except that now, apart from the Grenadiers, you also have APCs, which can armored personnel carriers. They can ferry troops across the battlefield, which is really awesome when you talk about lancers and snipers who don't have a lot of movement. But the really cool thing this game does is when you start unlocking the side stories for each individual character. As anybody who plays Valkyria Chronicles, any of them knows that some of your characters have potentials, what are called potentials, and some of them can be positive, and some of them can be negative. Like, for example, one of my engineers is whenever he gets close to a tank, he freaks out because he loves tanks so much, and so the potential, tank freak pops up, and he's like, "I love tanks! I love tanks!" And he gets extra defense, and it's there's so much personality that oozes through these characters, but some of them have negative potentials as well. Like, for example, one character may have a crush on another character, and if you move that character too close, they'll get nervous because they want to impress them, and so they'll have like evasion down or accuracy down. But the really cool thing about these side stories and these characters is that if you play through them, some of these negative potentials will turn into positive character buffs. What I mean by that is, well, like, for example, there's a brother-sister team in the game. I think, the brothers are he's like, one's a scout and she's like a mechanic, I think. But he, whenever he gets near her in battle, if you're using them together, he gets the negative potential, overbearing, it's called overbearing sister. And he gets all flustered and like his evasion and his accuracy goes down. But if you play through their side story, they're forced to like work together in battle, and she ends up saving his life. And at the end of that side story, at the end of that battle, overbearing sister turns into proud brother. And every time they're fighting together, he gets a boost to defense and movement. Which I thought was fun. Really like, it's really fucking cool. Like, it's
kind of cool.
Yeah, like, well, and not only that, but it encourages you to play through those stories and kind of see what's what and see what, because these are not just like, like your knight class in Final Fantasy Tactics. Like, oh, I found a knight and now I've got a knight, and like every one of these characters has stories. They have likes and dislikes. The only thing I'll say against the game has kind of put me off a little bit. It's there's been a lot of talk about the character Raz. He's one of the main characters. He's a Darkson character. He's a shock trooper. And he is incredibly sexist. There's one part early in the game where you're a female sniper who's she's another main character in the game, Kai. They're talking about, men versus women in combat. And he literally, like, and the camera pans right onto this, grabs her ass and says, "No man's got an ass this tight." And I was just like, I was just like...
I've heard it gets like pretty rough towards the middle of the game.
Dude, that's not even the middle of the game. That's like 2 hours into the game.
No, like I heard it gets like worse than that.
Does it really? So yeah. I haven't seen any evidence of that. What I will say, like, to the game's credit, Kai like punched him in the stomach, which is fine. But the rest of the characters were like, "Oh, Raz, you chucklehead, you fucking rascal." Oh,
they kind of play it up like she's the one who's overreacting.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, Raz, you fucking oh man, you're sitting around here grabbing women's asses, you scoundrel."
That's how he shakes hands.
It's and like he says shit like, "On R&R, I'm all about the 3 B's: beer, babes, and boobs." And I'm like, "Cool, dude. That's fucking sick."
Exactly. Same.
Sick story. Jay's like the same, but no, like and like it wouldn't be like, I don't know, like it's not anything that's putting me off the game. I still love the game, but I kind of hope that character dies in a fire at the same time, because he's just
it's an
terrible.
asterisk that shouldn't have to be there.
He's terrible. Yeah. Like, and I've actually tried to kill him off, and you can't. Like, there's some characters that you just like, because like if some of those characters die, they're gone, right? But unfortunately, Raz kind of sticks around. So
you just like walk in front of a tank, you're like, "Whoops."
Yeah, I know. Oh man, I didn't even see those. I didn't see that tank there. I'm sorry, man. Oh, dude, there was a mine there. I promise you, I didn't see it. I didn't see that landmine, that personnel mine. But aside from that, I'm really fucking enjoying the game. I love turn-based strategy RPGs. And this is the sequel that series deserved after 1. Like, I know we had 2 and 3, and then whatever.
Well, those never came to the States anyway.
Yeah,
so like, if you loved 1, there was no way to play them, right?
I
I
found a way to play it. Let's just say that.
Yeah,
you could play 2 on PSP, I think, then 3 had fan translation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you could, but those were they were fine. But this is the series. This is the sequel that series deserved, and I really hope it sells well, because it does a lot of things right, and I would really love to see this series keep going.
So we don't talk about Asia Revolution.
Yeah,
I was gonna say. Yeah.
No, that's not acceptable here. Why don't we move on to our guest, Manny? Dude, go ahead, man. What have you been playing recently?
Oh man, I've been on this weird place where I came back from PAX and I played nothing but The Messenger for like 2 weeks straight.
Oh shit, yeah, dude.
It's like all
Such a good game.
It's amazing, and I think especially being so close to Sabotage, I got to interview them at PAX East in February, and then they were very much still in the process of things, and then seeing them now at PAX West, like they were just like in a completely different place. They were so happy that the game was out, and they were like just elated. So I feel like I had a connection to that game, and so I spent a lot of time with it and enjoyed it very much. And then I've been on this like just Bethesda bender. I've just been tearing games again.
So you finished one game, right?
I've been like really into the shooters again. So I played through Doom again, which like it's just getting me so excited for Doom Eternal. And I've been like, listening to the soundtrack while I'm at the gym and when I run. And so that has been really fun. And then I was just like, you know what? I want to try Quake Champions just for fun. Like I just want to see what it's like. And dude, I have been fucking loving it.
Really?
Like it has its flaws. It has it for sure. It has its problems, but it calls back to a time in arena shooters where like it reminded me of Unreal Tournament. It reminded me of like the earlier Quake games. Like it's just like chaos shooter, like arena shooter, first person, like just the fun of like the late 90s, early 2000s arena shooters. And I'm hooked. I'm totally addicted. I've put in like in the last week, I've put in many hours to this game. There's actually a huge esports event taking place in Romania tomorrow that I'm gonna like watch for some reason. So yeah, it's pretty great to like go back and play through some of these older games. I think I'm gonna go back and play through some of the earlier Wolfenstein games as well. I haven't touched Spider-Man, surprisingly. I haven't even bought it yet, but I do intend to. And then of course the fall is just like waiting for me to not do anything else and not get any sunlight. But for right now, I've been mostly playing Doom and Quake Champions, and then like my classics, which are like Overwatch, and I play some FIFA here and there as well. But yeah, that's about it for me.
Sorry, I had to. Derek is complaining because he's not a mod, and so I just so look at that now. Now Derek is a mod. Congratulations! And look at that, guys. I fixed the chat. I fixed some motherfucking chat. It's on the stream now. Hell yeah!
Promoting and fix the chat at the same time, man. Look at you, talented.
Dude, I'm so
decision
fucking
maker
good.
over here.
I'm making crispy fish. Y'all saw my crispy fish taco tweets, by the way, right? Like you saw that shit. Dude, that shit
I did
came out.
not see the fish
Dude,
tacos.
you need to go back and check that out. That shit.
I
came
saw
out
the
real.
pan.
They look
pasta.
pretty. They look pretty legit.
Awesome.
Dude, fucking legit. I'm a really good cook. Manny, anything else you want to drop on us, dude? As far as what you're playing?
That's about it. I think that's basically it. I haven't really getting into anything too crazy, but I'm liking what I've been playing.
Awesome. Justin, what about you, my man?
Oh man, and people could join me on these if you want, but like I did play a little bit of Forza, but and I'm just counting this week diving heavily into Assassin's Creed. It's just
You're speaking Manny's language.
Yes, joining me on this journey. Like it's great. Like I actually played like 9 hours into it. I'm like, I think I picked the wrong character, and I started over on like because I started with Alexios and I picked Cassandra, and now I'm like actually working my way back up to that point with her. And like I'm not bored with it by doing that, which is weird because I hate replaying the beginning of the game over and over. Like it just time goes by so quick in that game.
Yeah.
And it's a little slug when you start off, but then like there's a point where it opens up. As they kind of like they bring the ship combat back from 4, but they make it Greek, like to the point where like, you can ram down the middle of ships and split them in half, stuff like that. And right now, like I got just like caught just building up my ship, building up my crew on that ship too. Like it's kind of like your little home base. And now I'm playing Cassandra, and I know my ending. We're going to go back with this like ship full of Amazons, and we're just going to find them Themyscira or something like that. Like that's why I come and feel like the game I'm playing right now. But yeah, it's good. The game's beautiful. It does have a fair share of glitches though. Like I trapped a wolf in a rock twice at the same place. He just got in there. But granted, I've been playing the early starts. I don't know if they're going to do because was it officially released? Was it today?
Tomorrow.
Or tomorrow. Okay. So I don't know if they're going to patch it tomorrow or not. So can't really comment that far on that. But yeah, I mean, the combat's good. I feel like it's more digestible than Origins is. Because like Origins is great, but like as far as like the wanting to explore, I didn't really feel like doing an Origins because like it's just one big landmass. But with Odyssey, it's a bunch of smaller islands or smaller landmasses. So like if you see a point up there, I would ignore it in Origins. I actually feel like it's like, oh man, it's not gonna take me long to get up there, and I can go ahead and finish this map out. So roughly like about 9 hours in the game, heavily enjoying it. Probably gonna play it after this, except I forgot I also have to pack for a trip this weekend. We'll see how that goes. Priorities.
So all right, so there's been a lot of talk about Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and Maddie, I know you've been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed Odyssey as well.
Yeah.
Are there any points that Justin made that you disagree with or that you want to you want to add on? Because I know that it actually sounded to me like you had a few issues with combat.
My only real issues with combat are just kind of have to do with animation. Like, you don't really get much of a feel of the impact of your your attacks. But once you unlock the skill trees and the special abilities with the Spear of Leonidas, like, that really opens it up so that you don't really rely on melee as much, because you have all these like crazy abilities. Like John, you saw last night, the one where you just throw a spear and then teleport to them and rip the spear out the other side of them, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. There's one skill later on that you literally can just turn invisible.
What?
It's ridiculous. Yeah, they're really like leaning into the magic of it.
That's oddly appealing to me, but at the same time,
it's not really an Assassin's game, and I kind of feel like Odyssey or Origins wasn't really an Assassin's game. Like,
are you doing
just
any
an open world RPG?
That's a positive.
Are you actually assassinating anything in this game? Like, are there missions where it's like assassinate so and so? Like,
yeah,
you gotta. Okay, all right.
I mean, it's a.
I don't know, Justin.
There's got to be points on a map to go chase.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of points
and towers.
Justin, did you unlock the tab on the menu for the cult?
Not
Did
yet.
you unlock that yet? Okay,
Not yet.
That's where like assassinations come in, and it's a whole web of like interconnected people, and just that's kind of what this game does really well, is having a world that feels like it functions without you. So there's like the mercenary system where if you kick up too much trouble, people will put bounties on your head, and you will have named mercenaries come after you. And like, if you go into a fort and you're not stealthy, like, you'll see them run in after you and kind of like investigate bodies.
Not only that, like, I had one chase me down at sea. Like, also, like, I was chilling, looting a boat. All of a sudden, I just see him coming flying at me. Like, you see his banner fly down on his flag too. It's pretty awesome. Like, I don't want to say it's not the Nemesis system, but like each of these mercenaries, unlike being just like, hey, you got like 3 stars. It's just each mercenary has their own personality.
Yeah. I kind of like it more than the Nemesis system, only because the Nemesis system felt so centered on the player that like these orcs were coming in. They had like, it was very gamey. They were like, oh, I'm so and so, and I'm here to kill you. My sole purpose is to kill you. Whereas like the mercenaries, I've uncovered one on the map that's like on the opposite side of the map, and I'm guessing he's just like living his life until people
like there's one just like checking the bounty board. And the sad thing is I was also checking the bounty board, and one of the bounties was, hey, kill that mercenary.
It feels really interconnected and like a functioning world outside of what you're doing.
Very much so. Like, it is living and breathing. People feel like they have a purpose in that world. And like you kind of mentioned, like, the mercenaries aren't after you because like you're just a legendary person that's doing everything. They're after you because they want a payday. But yeah, it's just so cool, man. God, I had something I was going to mention. I already forgot what it was.
I'll say this much before we move on to Derek. I think it was a very, very smart move on Ubisoft's part to release this before Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah,
I
do too, because I feel like it won't have the same impact on me hearing how just robust Red Dead Redemption's interaction with the world is.
The level of just fucking plain immersiveness that we've seen and had described to us in Red Dead Redemption 2. The only other thing that has ever come close to me for that is like Breath of the Wild. And Breath of the Wild handled attention to detail in the world. Like, regardless of your feelings on the game and like breakable weapons, up until now, I feel like that's the benchmark. That game was the benchmark for attention to detail and just an immersive world that feels lived in. But man, Red Dead Redemption 2 just seems like it's on a whole other level. Anyway, I want to go ahead and move on to Derek. Derek, what are you playing, my man?
Yeah, so obviously, like, streaming, I've been playing the original Dead Space, which I just beat today.
Was that the first time you ever played it, by the way?
No, I've played each of them, but I played them when they came out on consoles. So this is my first time going to like the PC versions, and it's my first time revisiting any of them ever.
God, those games,
and I'm reminded, like, no, Dead Space really was that good.
Dude, they need remasters in the worst fucking way.
Oh, I know, so bad. And then the original XCOM I've been playing more of recently, because the mobile port is actually surprisingly good. So I grabbed the tablet version for $10 and been playing that on my tablet at work during the downtime. to work overnights, and there's not always that much work to do. Waiting for the next person to come in. And then I've been playing a lot of Super Robot Wars X, which has been sitting in my backlist since it came out in like March in English. And that's like a Fire Emblem-y, XCOM-y kind of like tactical RPG that's basically just mashing together all of the old like Super Robot shows. So like Gundam, Evangelion, Robotech, like stuff like that. So I've always been a big fan of that series.
Actually.
Yeah, it's pretty baller, and it'll never get released in the U.S. for licensing nightmares. But I mean, you can get an English copy and just import it, and it's fine. It's translated perfectly. So
I mean, dude, never say never. If you'd asked me a year ago, John, will Metal Wolf Chaos ever come to the United States? I'd have given you a solid no.
Well, that was basically just because nobody gave enough of a shit to try. But it's very different when you're talking about trying to figure out licensing for 25 different shows from different publishers, that have nothing to do with each other. It's impossible, honestly. Yeah. But it's okay, because again, that's what consoles being region free is for. Games can come out in English in other countries, and we can just import them. So
I want to give a quick shout out to Julian in the chat real quick. Julian came up with a great jingle for our
it's so good,
content. Dude. It's real good. We're going to use it for the first time this weekend when we talk about the Harry Potter game. I just want to point out, we're not going to talk about the Harry Potter game. We felt like that was a really good topic for a pre-recorded session, talking about what we want to see. The fact that it just looks so fucking violent, like holy shit, fucking trolls being impaled through the chests to pillars and stuff. Like it looks like a really dark Harry Potter game. But we're going to save that for the content on Saturday. But we are going to use that jingle for the first time, Julian. Thank you so much, dude. Seriously, for doing that for us.
Julian is just the best in general. He's the best person.
Julian is a fucking stand-up guy. He's been listening to us for a long time too, like years. Julian's been around. Julian's like MIDI. They've been suffering this fucking torture for years. I don't know why. I don't know why they do this to themselves, but they do.
Once we get big enough, we'll send them each their own sake, like personalized sake.
Yeah, we do need to give you guys a sake, like and like for I don't know. It sounds like a threat when you put it like that. Like
I don't even have a sake.
But I don't know where my sake is. Don't tell Finn. It's in my room here somewhere.
You shouldn't have said that live. I wanted not to know.
My sake's around here. It's in the room somewhere. Here somewhere. I don't know exactly where it's at.
I try cooking.
Waiting to see it pop up behind you.
I
tried cooking the sake at E3 and I almost like burnt the Airbnb down.
So Jay, why don't you tell? So I know you've been playing Forza, man. Do you want to talk a little bit about it?
Dude, I haven't been on here in a while, so I'm on. So back in August, I finally beat Doom 2016.
Jay's gonna go back and talk about 3 months worth of games he's played. Everybody settle in.
Get comfortable.
I bring up because I feel like I had talked shit about Doom on here a couple times, and that game is absolutely amazing. But I played on easy because I was really bad at it. I felt like a badass the whole time, so that game's really cool.
That's all that matters.
I will say, I don't mean to interrupt, but it's worth watching the No Clip documentary on the making of Doom. You get so much fucking insight about how that game was brought back and from the dead. Not really from the dead, but pun intended. Doom. But it's amazing. Go check out the No Clip documentary on Doom. It's worth it, especially if you enjoy that game.
Word. I picked up the Crash Bandicoot trilogy on the Xbox One.
I'm sorry.
Even though I told myself last year I wouldn't play it again. And I beat the first Crash Bandicoot 90% of the game completed, which I don't know how I did it. I don't recommend anyone ever play that game ever. Just play 2 or 3.
It's so bad, dude. Those games do the gameplay wise, they do not hold up well.
No,
all. I beat the Stormy Ascent level that they put in the game as DLC originally, and I think I went through 60 lives.
Why would you choose to do that?
Yeah, it's just because Jay's got masochistic tendencies.
Yeah, because I was very dedicated to myself that weekend. I picked up the new NBA 2K game, which I think is really good. The microtransactions still really suck, but I feel like it's a huge improvement over last year's game, gameplay-wise. And I picked up Metal Gear Solid. I've never played Metal Gear Solid.
Ooh,
what?
Oh, that's a discussion.
Holy shit!
Well, that's a great thing to get into. Then
we need to address this real quick. How far are you?
Yeah, I got past the first boss battle.
Ooh, Ocelot, good stuff.
So that's Revolver Ocelot, if I remember correctly, right? That's Ocelot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love to reload during a battle.
I'm having a really good time. I'm having a really good time with it. I appreciate how it's a very cinematic game, but it's also a very arcadey game at the same time.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, it's easy to pick up, and for that I appreciate it.
Well, Enjoy 1 being one of the only ones that actually makes sense. So
Didn't do you guys remember that like real thick sexual innuendo Revolver Ocelot would spout off during his boss fight? He'd say stuff like, "I love to reload during a battle. There's nothing like the feeling of slamming a fucking round into a well-lubed chamber." And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, like
he gets super
he's
erotic
like
about
60
that.
years old, man.
He's
Why do you
like
think he
that
had that
really,
mustache?
Really likes revolvers. I mean,
really
what's wrong
did.
with that?
This is the Colt Single Action Army, the greatest revolver in the world. He was really, dude, I fucking, oh my god, I can't believe this is the first time you ever played it. So,
Yeah, dude.
No, please go ahead.
Yeah.
I want to hear more.
And I've been playing Forza Horizon 4, which I feel like is the game of the year so far. It's better than Yakuza 6.
No. I want to hear more about Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid. Have you
Horizon 4?
have
I
you
said
played?
this exact review, which all of you should read, by the way, that Forza Horizon 4 is the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 of car racing games.
I
like that quote.
concur with that. I mean,
That's
oof.
intense.
The reason why I say it's because like I feel like they perfected the formula that Forza Horizon 3 was going for.
It's a race.
And it's perfect.
It's a racing game
absolutely
for people
perfect.
who don't like racing games too. Like you just go in there and chill, man.
It's essentially it's like an MMORPG. There's like
You're-
shared world events.
But you're a car.
Hey, real quick,
Exactly.
I want,
Like,
cars,
you're
the
a car. You love
Does that
love.
make it a car PG?
Hey,
My man starts as racist as doing like the Drake dance. It's great.
real quick, I want to give a very,
I don't know.
Jay,
I
real quick,
love Forza Horizon 4. Yes.
real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt. I want to give a really quick shout out to Tanya DePass from I Need Diverse Games who's in chat. She's awesome. She's been on the show before.
She has.
She has, and ran into her again at PAX West. And Tanya, we love all the work you do. Thank you so much for being here. Anyway, Jay, please continue, man. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Dude, you're fine. Forza Horizon 4 is amazing. As someone said before, it's the car racing game for people who don't like racing games, and I highly agree with that. The only two things I really dislike about the game is that they lost the Toyota license, so there's only Toyota like trucks in the game. There's actually not like Toyota cars, which is a huge bummer. Change
So-
your radio station. You can only go right now. You can't go left. You can't go back. So you can only go forward.
That is really annoying. Yeah.
I
It's
thought,
dumb.
okay,
Weird.
so like I had a brain fart for a minute. I thought you were talking about turning, like you can only turn right. I'm like, that doesn't make
No.
any fucking sense at all.
No,
What
no,
the
no,
fuck
This
is
is Forza,
that?
not NASCAR.
It's
if you
reverse
wanna go
NASCAR.
left, you have to take three rights.
So in Forza Horizon 1 through 3, you could on the D-pad you can go left or right to change the radio stations.
I
But
forget
in
what
4,
he could left.
there's online chat mode or
Oh.
button, which is the left D-pad. You can only use the right D-pad now to go through radio stations.
Yeah,
So you
but with
can't
that
go
left
back.
chat button, I can say I'll buy that for $1, and it's just fine now.
Also, I unlocked the Windows XP shutdown horn.
Yes.
So that's
Whoever
Such a
put that in
classic
there.
sound effect.
Brilliant.
Also because
Everybody
we
in
have
chat just heard that in
John-
their heads.
we have convinced John to download Forza Horizon 4. There is a Sea of Thieves theme horn. So
Oh, it's pretty cool.
So you know what? I want to address that real quick, Jack. The reason that we're playing, so yes, I did download Forza on Game Pass. We're going to stream it Saturday night. The reason we're streaming Forza on Saturday night and not Super Mario Party like we wanted to is because apparently Super Mario Party's online component is I don't
10
even know how to,
minigames.
I don't even know how to fucking describe it. Like
Wait, what?
so
It's apparently only 10 mini games. So we already kind of knew that you couldn't actually play the board game function online, and it was okay. So we can play mini games though with people, which is at least something. And it turns out it's only like a selection of 10 different mini games that can be played online. Like I'm somebody who's gonna get and love Super Mario Party, but it makes no sense. That I dare Nintendo to make less sense.
Like we all don't let them hear that because we all love. I hope love Nintendo. Nintendo's great, but they have not figured out how to be logical when it comes to online offerings.
They have
The
not,
limitations, the walls they put up around their online service offering is insane.
Yeah.
Like an online service offering isn't necessarily about the things that you do or offer. It's about the lack of limitations, about the things that you don't do. And Nintendo's like, let's do all of those fucking things,
Right.
which
So-
is super frustrating. I mean, I'm still paying for the service, which is the
It's
shitty
super
part.
frustrating too, like specifically when it comes to Mario Party, because like, you know, little thing, I'm gonna pick the game up tomorrow. I'm gonna be streaming it during the day. I'd like to, and I would love to be able to just open it up and be like, hey, cool, here's the code, get 3 other random viewers in, and let's have some fun with Mario Party. you know, it's granted, it's mostly an offline party experience. That's how I'm going to play it 90% of the time. But there's that limitation. You know,
I just want to point out that I didn't see who it was, but somebody in chat just asked, swearing aloud in chat. My dude, fucking come on! Like,
yeah.
let's
if I'm on this show, then there's nothing you can say that's worse than what slips past my filter when it's on.
Let's fucking go with that shit. So like, here's my thing about Super Mario Party Online is that it may as well not even fucking be there. Like, I feel like as small as it is, it's worse that it's there. I would rather just not have it at all.
It's like the tiniest tease with no completion. Like,
you know, like so there are 80 mini games. There are 80 fucking mini games. And so I did a little more research, and the way it works is that there are different cups, right? And each cup, there's 3 cups. Each one of them have 5 mini games in them. But the mini games are static. Like there are mini games you will never see in there, and some of the mini games themselves overlap. They overlap. So and you can't play the board game online. The board game, I get it. It's frustrating because, you know, like, you don't want people dropping out, which would just completely kind of fuck the game. So I do understand the logic there. It's still disappointing to me. I feel like
anybody who plays Mario Party has to have a tolerance for the kind of bullshit that happens in Mario Party, though. Like, you don't get into it blind at this point.
Exactly.
I feel like you can't play Mario Party mini games without the board game, though. It's just, I don't know.
You can.
It's half the fun.
They released a whole DS thing full of just the mini games, but
see, I didn't know that. So.
Yeah. It's like what is it? Mario Party the top 100 or something like that?
Yeah, top 100 mini games.
How'd that sell?
Well, and
no one knows how good the game is because no one bought it.
No one fucking bought
it.
So the really frustrating thing about, like, Mario Party has been lackluster for the past, I don't know, I'd say 7 or 8 iterations. Like,
since the GameCube.
Yeah, it hasn't been good in a long time, but this one is actually apparently really good. And so the fact that it is so, the online is so crippled, like, I'm still gonna buy it because my wife wants it. You know, every other weekend when we get my son, he wants to play it, so we're gonna play Mario Party. I had this idea in my head when it was announced that we would do, like, you know, we used to do, like, you know, what was that game we would stream, Jay? Jackbox.
Jackbox is so good.
And we would have, like, game nights, but with Mario Party, and we can't fucking do that. And so we decided to just, you know, cancel our stream on Saturday and play Forts instead because, I mean, honestly, Derek, I think you would agree. Like, what's the fucking point? I mean, like, there's no point.
It's such a shame. Like, it's so ripe for, like, streaming and stuff like that. And of course, Nintendo just doesn't get it. I mean, you just gotta shake your head and go, "Oh, Nintendo."
Well, because they exist in their. We talked about this on a recent episode of our podcast. They exist in their own lane. They're like the crazy uncle of the industry, where they can do all this crazy shit and get away with it. But at a certain point, and I think we're seeing that happen with PlayStation now, it's like we're going to hopefully bring them back down to earth and be like, hey, if you're going to dip your toes in this online pool, if you're going to make this a feature that you gave us, then took away and are making us pay for, like, at least make it the way your consumers want it to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, NOA is on board. It's all NCL. It's all Japan. You know, like I used for you two who don't know, I used to work at NOA. So, like, I've met and talked about this stuff very in depth with so many people there. And, like, everyone is pretty much like, nobody can talk out loud, but everyone is so frustrated at some of these choices. But, like, nobody in America gets to set this policy. Nobody gets to decide what games get made or how the online system works. So then this stuff gets announced, and then it's like, here's the talking orders. You have to defend this. And then that's how we end up with me defending stuff like Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival.
Jesus. But I mean, like, you have to compare, like, the market, right? Like, like the Japanese market, it probably sells a shit ton, but, like, geographically, like, you can't. I mean, I have no idea. Does anybody have these answers? What are the how much does Nintendo sell in Japan compared to the US?
Well, Nintendo sells a lot more systems in Japan than they do in the West, like, proportionally. But the big thing is it's a very different market. The Japanese market is much more handheld centric. That's why the 3DS did so well. That's why the Switch is outselling everything over there. They prefer handheld systems because they spend 2 hours a day in commerce on public transit. You know, or to play something on their lunch break. You don't have a lot of people sitting at home playing on consoles, playing online. That's seen as kind of the, like, the dorky, like, way to play games. That's why the Xbox is so, I mean, that it being a Western product does so poorly over there.
Right. I also I want to give a quick shout out to Wout, hashtagging us in the chat, who says,
Wow.
Derek's hair looks perfect.
Oh, it's. Hang on. Should I fade?
Oh, look at that, dude! It's
Oh.
you're like the White Goodman of SDGC. That hair is. It's got to be the hair. It's got to
That
feathered.
white streak, man.
Feathered
Got
and
that
lethal.
white streak.
That's what it is. Julian in chat says Derek's hair is too powerful. but
Wout is the gosh darn best. That guy.
it looks like we got a neat. Says, hey, from Bigwigs 007. Could you write that question down so we can answer?
Yo,
later?
I got you. I
Cool,
got you.
awesome. So somebody mentioned PlayStation earlier. Let's move away from our Mario Party bitch session because I could bitch about it more. I'm really pissed.
We've
pissed
covered
off
all the
about it.
ground there is to cover. I
I'm
think.
really
Yeah,
upset about it.
Super Mario Party is already $50 on Newegg. So
I mean, it's
go
gonna
buy it
sell
now.
great, dude. It's gonna sell great. Like
Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't sell amazingly. Like, yeah, it doesn't matter.
it doesn't fucking matter. Like every first party game on this, like fucking Xenoblade Chronicles 2 sold over 1 million copies. I mean, it's going to sell. It's going to sell wonderfully.
Super Mario Party is going to end up being in the top 10 on the NPD again
It
because
probably
every
fucking
first
will.
party Nintendo game
Yep.
will be.
The
It
one thing I
probably-
will say though, and I don't want to stay on this topic for too long, it's like, what's up with Nintendo assuming that I have just a shitload of friends near me
Yes.
all the time?
So
on,
they're
Nintendo.
stuck in that
I have
mentality. I said this today, Manny. I said this today on Twitter. They're stuck in that mentality of, it's 1995 and I've got my fucking Super Nintendo and we just got
Right.
Super Mario Kart and we're all gonna sit down and we're gonna use the adapter and all plug our controllers in and
Yeah.
we're all gonna play on the couch and that's just not how it happens anymore. Like I don't have any close friend. Like my closest friend, like somebody I grew up with, lives 2 hours away from me. We're not gonna fucking play Mario
Yeah.
Kart, like or Mario Party. And all my other friends who care about gaming are in other states, so
Right,
it's
right.
never going to happen for me. Like the only people I'll play Mario Party with are my family, which is fine. But I would love to play with you guys. Like that's what I want. It's 2018, and it's just the fact that we don't have is stupid.
It's 2018 Nintendo. Real friends don't exist.
Yeah, we
feel
only
so
have fake
weird.
Twitter friends, online.
I feel so
friends.
weird. I have too many people who want to get together for Mario Party to narrow down to 3 other people.
Well, you know
Everyone
what?
have a rooftop to break it out on, man.
Louisville is the smallest big city in the world. Like nobody leaves it. So everybody I grew up with and worked with ever, other than at Nintendo, is here. So I have enough people we can get together and do stupid Mario Party.
That is. And wait, hold on a minute. Wout in chat says, "Where's Octopath Traveler again on the NPD list?" I'll fucking tell you where it is, Wout. It was number 1 on the fucking NPD list for July. Okay, that game sold fucking fantastic, and it's gonna get a sequel out and you know why? Because it's the best fucking JRP this generation. That's
John,
why.
are you
Wout.
okay?
That's why it is. No, I'm
John?
not fucking okay. I'm not okay. I'm not fucking okay at all. I am tired of this anti Octopath Traveler narrative popping up in our chat over and over and over from the same guy. The same guy every single fucking time. Here's the deal. That game is a fucking masterpiece.
Not the
Wow.
same guy because you got to deal with it in our chat
No,
too.
it's a masterpiece. It looks beautiful. All 8 stories are great. It's got the best soundtrack. I can't. Fuck this. PlayStation.
John, do we need to get you a Snickers? I have one more thing about Mario Party, and this
Go ahead,
is
man.
going to be a make or
I love
break
you.
for me. And I can
love
find
you
no
out. I love you.
I can
Go
find
ahead.
no coverage about this element of Mario Party. Can I set up four computer-controlled characters at the lowest difficulty and make them play each other? Are you all familiar with this game?
No.
So, this is beautiful. You get a Mario Party game.
Yes.
All 4 characters, computer-controlled, lowest difficulty. The lowest difficulty in Mario Party is... It cannot be described how bad the choices the AI will make. And then you break people into groups, and you root for your character to be the one that doesn't lose or loses the least.
That is a
it's-
betting game.
It is an
You get
amazing
drunk with your
drinking
friends
and
or
betting
put
game.
money
That
down,
is
yeah.
is exactly what it is. It's great stream fodder. It is amazing. So if Super Mario Party does not have that, throw it in the trash.
Not playing.
So let's something really cool happened. I think it was either yesterday or just today. Actually, it was today. There was a rumor going around that PlayStation was ready to institute name changes, changing your PSN name. And I thought, okay, we've heard the song and dance before until Kotaku reported it. And if I've spoken to Jason Schreier a couple times. If Kotaku reports it, it's probably canon. At this point.
The Oracle, Jason
Um,
Schreier.
If Eurogamer
Man does work.
if Eurogamer and Kotaku are both saying something is happening, then there's a 9.5 out of 10 chance it's fucking happening. So in fact, apparently even developers have even shared have even shared screens. Sorry, I'm looking at some terrible shitty takes in our chat. I'm trying not to. It's fucking garbage. This not only is our podcast trash, but our chat sometimes gets kind of trashy too. Sorry about that. But for anybody who
learned it from watching you
by the terrible Bubsy 64 of JRPGs bullshit I see happening in our chat.
Jay.
That's fantastic.
Everything I fucking said about me being glad. Look, I can't even fucking talk. I'm like actually upset. Like everything I said at the beginning of this podcast about how I'm glad you're back. I fucking take every syllable back. Terrible. It's awful that you're here. Anyway, apparently there were some developers who actually shared screens of an edit name or edit username button next to the PSN stuff. So I guess here's my question. And it's a very simple question. Why did it... So I came here to have a good time, and I'm so attacked, John. Why did it take Sony this long?
From what I understand, though, like unlike Steam or unlike Microsoft, which doesn't tie all your accounts to a name, they actually attach it to either your original sign up or a number. And so, like, if you change your name, it screws everything up that's registered to you. Not to mention screws everything up, but Messenger boards screws everything up. So basically, they set it up just stupid. Is
there's
from my understanding.
They set it up stupid is the scientific way to describe it.
Yeah.
In technical terms, it's dumb. So I understand that is the issue with it, and of course, like that's not a quick fix. So I can understand why it's taking so long. It's just, I don't know. It seems like it could have been a shorter wait, but I'm wondering, was this what that one update's about, or just says improved system performance?
I think that was probably prepping us for the actual, because like everybody thought it didn't do anything, but I guarantee you it's going to turn out that this was like this.
We had that one tweet that said, "Oh, you'll see."
Yeah, like this was the key, and now like with the next update, they're going to put the key in the lock and unlock it. I'm just happy that I can be Mr. Negative on PSN now. Like I want to be able to take that.
I gotta change my PSN name to like my new brand.
Yeah, you go. Yeah, brand that shit. By the way, I just want to point out that Tanya in chat said, she said, "Sorry, being silly and derailing the chat." Tanya, this chat I don't think has ever been on a single rail in 3 years. Like there's no
rails for years.
There's nothing. There's no. This is
I
all
don't
chaos.
think it has been.
We don't need roads where we're going.
No, and
Oh, I'm gonna laugh when Sony's like, "Yo, you can change your PSN name, but you have to buy PlayStation Classic to do so."
Taking a page out of Nintendo's book.
Sony is too good.
So
I think a part of it too is they didn't have to. You know, it would like on the triage of shit that they had to take care of that was more pressing in terms of making them money, nowhere near top of the list, right? I think now, and this is what I was referencing earlier, I think there's somewhat of a reckoning happening where we're seeing Microsoft make a lot of really positive moves and making some moves that are clearly for the players. And so I think PlayStation is starting to feel that heat. And, you know, having been king of the last generation, you know, they might not be sitting on their throne long enough, or so they might think. I think they're going to be fine. But it's just like they didn't have to, and you know, the view was too good from the top to do anything else.
Well, you know what's interesting to me, and I'll let somebody else speak on this. I just want to make this point: is that last week we found out that we were getting crossplay. This week we found out that people are going to get to change their PSN names, and it feels like there might be something in what Manny is saying, because it feels like all of a sudden Sony is just spooning out things that people have been asking for a very long time now.
Plus the PlayStation Classic, I mean, they're gearing up for the next generation. I would imagine the PlayStation 5 or whatever the fuck they're calling it is going to have backwards compatibility. It's going to have all these features that we've been asking for years. They're just drip feeding us right now.
Here's something else, Sony, that we want then. For the PlayStation 5, take the S out of Station and put the 5 in there, because you know that's the only way to do it. That's the only way to do it.
That's what I said on my podcast. I said it's going to be called the P5.
That's the only way to do it. P5. That's the only way.
P5. Brand
do it.
Brand that shit.
I just want it though.
No.
Hell yeah. In fact, you know what? Here, I'm putting that shit in chat right now, just so everybody can see it. Look how good this is.
We already have Venom. We already have Venom.
See, I like PlayStation V. I can handle that.
Enough for me.
You're just saying P5 a lot. Andrew Goldfarb is getting very excited somewhere. Just like, oh yeah,
there it is. Look at that. Oh, no, MIDI. You got to take the S out. You got to take the S out. Somebody put that shit in chat, but you got to take the S out. It's the 5 is in place of the S.
You know what I can't wait for though, and it's already actually started, is those like random screenshots showing up on Facebook, showing up on Reddit of like leaked images of the PlayStation 5, and like it, you know, there's always one that has that curved controller where it's like, guys.
Oh, that looks like a fucking boomerang.
The banana.
Yeah, the banana
When I
controller.
went to
Yeah.
Best Buy, I went to Best Buy the day that God of War came out. What is that, April or whatever? And I was there when it opened, and as I was getting my copy, this guy turns the corner. He has a PlayStation under his arm. He has God of War under his arm, and he has that giant like $250 statue of Kratos under his arm. So he's like hardcore. So we're walking towards the register, sort of, you know, at the same time, and he goes, "Hey, check this out." Takes his phone out, shows me this ridiculously poorly edited, very clearly fan-made trailer for like the PlayStation 5, and he's like, "Look, man, it's real. It has you can take a hard drive out of it. You can upgrade the memory." He was like showing me all these features. I'm like, and like I didn't have a heart to be like, "No, man, like, come on."
You can do that.
I'm ready for all of the over-designed bullshit mock-ups that look like
Just an orb.
I was waiting for him to be like, you can play VHS in it. You can put your Nintendo Switch games in there, play those if you want. I was just like, wow, man, looks really great. Have fun with God of War.
I hope the PlayStation 5 is the PlayStation 9 like commercial from like 2001, and like that PlayStation Classic and the PS4 and the PS3 and the PS2 and PS1 you bought. You can throw them all in this ball now.
Wait, is that the one? Is that the commercial where the guy in the Crash Bandicoot suit was outside in Nintendo headquarters yelling at Mario?
No.
Yeah, that went well.
There's this commercial that came out in 2001, and there's this guy with a PlayStation 9, and it's just this like hyper futuristic like ball that's just like hovering in his hand.
I gotta look this shit up now as soon as we're done. I was not aware of this, dude. Those commercials from that era were the fucking best.
Yeah,
They really were, dude. I remember the commercial where the only PlayStation commercial I remember, like think about the golfing commercials, right? Like, do you guys remember that one from a couple of years ago where they had all the Sony characters in the bar? And Nate Drake and he was like hitting on Lightning from Final Fantasy 13, and
that was a great commercial.
Solid Snake was like, "I'm telling you, war has changed, but the guy who got it, he got us through. It was Michael." And there's still like a picture of Michael on the bar. Like, that was a great commercial. Manny just said it. That was a great fucking commercial. But
Greatness Awaits was a great campaign too. I really enjoyed that one.
When
y'all remember Kevin Butler?
I do remember Kevin Butler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course I remember Kevin Butler, dude.
What about Kevin?
I remember the commercial.
Marcus for PSP.
Marcus,
No.
that's what it was.
Before the PlayStation ever released, it was Crash Bandicoot, a guy in a Crash Bandicoot suit, driving in a van. He was walking around outside of Nintendo headquarters, and he had a megaphone. And he was like, "Yo, plumber boy, mustache man, your worst nightmare's here, baby." Like, it just
they had that stuff, and then they had the PS3 era, like edgy David Lynch, like try hard stuff.
the crying baby doll.
Crying baby doll.
Yeah. It was like if David Lynch was like goth for a phase.
Yeah.
It was weird.
I don't know if this is
Like,
gonna show up on the
that whole marketing
webcam.
campaign was like written by Nine Inch Nails. Like, it was
Yeah.
really super edgelord. Yeah.
I don't know if this is going to show up on the webcam, but we're talking about terrible mock-ups. And of course, I was thinking about this PlayStation 4 mock-up
I remember
back
that
in the
bad
day.
boy.
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could just replace my camera feed with it, but I just love these
Is it me?
miserable, bad, over-designed, like...
Derek, it almost looks like a Nintendo Switch design.
It looks.
I
Like
mean,
it looks
in
like
a sad
Wii
way,
almost.
Feels
too.
like a system inside a weird gray system. There's, I don't even know. There's a
PlayStation 4
see-through bar on the front for no reason. Like,
well, like that, like for like, especially like the like early 2000 teens, whatever you want to call that, like 2009-ish era, like around there, like they're like you said it earlier, like over designing was such a fucking thing. Like, that was a hot thing. It's like, let's put fucking buttons and dials and features and all that shit. And we'll put
how many
one system inside
fins
of
does it
another
have?
one.
There was
Yeah,
one.
exactly.
There was one.
I remember
Go ahead. No, please.
I remember my brother when the PS2 was a couple of years old. He told me the PS3 is coming out soon. It's gonna have flames on it, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Like on Optimus
Cool.
Prime,
Actual flames.
just like on just like on Optimus Prime.
I remember the PlayStation 4 guy announced, and one of my friends, I was still in high school, and he was like, "Yo, Jay," he's like, "I hope the PS4 is like those like CD, like we can put like 5 CDs in at the same time and just like switch them. Switch favorite tapes in the comments.
It's a disc changer. Yo, that 1997 technology.
Yeah.
Except for this
Yeah.
is like 2013. Like, dude.
Imagine that. Yeah.
Yo, I heard PlayStation 5 is shaped like a bomber jet and it's got 17 LEDs on it. Like,
Jesus Christ. So I want to move on. So all right, enough of this. We've gone down this rabbit hole too far. I want to kind of close by talking about. So we had this idea that we would rate the best beards in gaming. You know. So here's the deal. And so when we say beards, we're not talking about gaming personalities, right? Like Greg Miller's got a great beard. Manny's got a great beard. You know, dude, good beard. I used to have a great beard. It's coming back in.
I had one. It was probably down to here.
Damn.
And then
son.
summer hit, and I was like, I don't feel like wearing a sweater on my face. You know.
Well, no, and that's apropos, right? Like Justin and Derek have decent beards. There's some decent beardage going on here.
normally I'd have the cheeks too, but
You do.
Oh, this is trimmed.
This is
Yeah.
Justin's like, you think this was a fucking accident?
Yeah.
No.
Shit.
This is on purpose. It's gonna.
it's manicured.
So we're talking
That's right.
beards, right? And so gaming characters, like which gaming characters have the best beards? And I want to go. There's no limit. So we're gonna go to round table. There is no limit to how far back you can go. No beard is off the table. But we are. I want to hear about the lusciousness. I want to hear about the thickness, the length. Anyway, just talk about the fucking beard.
Yeah.
So we'll start with, we'll start with Derek. Derek, I want to hear about a really good, above average gaming beard. Like, let's really get in there, man. Like, I want
Yeah,
to
man.
really-
So, if I had to think of who has one of the best beards in gaming, I'd probably say Kanji from Persona 3. Naoto's a pretty good, convincing, helps him look straight when they go to parties.
There you go.
Is that not the kind of beard we're talking about?
I mean, it can be any kind of beard. It can literally be any kind of beard. Any kind
John
of beard.
doesn't get it, I don't think.
No, I don't remember much about. I don't remember much about. Oh, wait, hold on. Kanji was in Persona 4. Kanji was a Persona 4 character.
Persona 4, excuse me. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm doing numbers wrong.
That's why you said when you said Persona 3. I was
Yeah,
like, wait,
sorry.
what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. That does not. No, it's got to be a natural beard.
Okay.
It has to be a natural beard.
Yeah.
Okay. I got to think about it. You don't see a lot of beards outside of like character creators, which I don't really want to count.
No, you can't count that. You can't.
Yeah, I know that
that's an
doesn't
important caveat.
really
You can't-
count.
You can't create your own beard.
I'm gonna take the easy chance, and I'm gonna go with Snake. Snake has that beautiful manicured, short, tight beard that always looks perfect. There's no patchiness in it.
Okay, so wait, Derek, I need to specify something. Are you
Yeah.
talking his beard, or because mustaches work too, or his Metal Gear Solid 4 mustache?
No, the
the
mustache.
old man
I do not
mustache.
do the gray old man mustache. It's that nice, tight, cropped, like
I would
Metal
say-
Gear Solid 1, 2, 3.
I was saying
People
Big Boss,
You
Metal
know
Gear
what?
Solid 3. I think that's a
Yo,
Julian-
that's.
So Julian in chat says Solid Snake or Naked Snake?
I mean,
there's
Naked Snake's a little better, but they're both amazing.
never mind. I was about to get in the whole Metal Gear and Naked Snake a whole other person, but
No.
Bring up Venom.
I don't know. No, oh, Venom. It's different.
Venom.
Yeah,
Well, Venom also had a solid beard.
pretty fantastic beard, man.
He did. He really did. He just, I prefer the mustache myself. I like the old man.
Mustache is awesome.
Dude, the mustache is fucking dope. Like,
It was
I'm
like
sorry,
a nice
but it
marine
makes-
cut or something like that too.
It makes him look like J. Jonah Jameson joined the Marine Corps, and there's just something I fucking dig about that. Like it was like if J. Jonah Jameson. It was like if Triple J was like, you know what, fucking Spider-Man, I'm going to do something about this guy.
I don't want to
that's-
like JJ though.
So I want to move on to Maddie. Maddie, tell us about a beard that really just moves you on a personal level. That really captures your imagination and I don't know, like makes you think, makes you ponder things. You know, like a beard that says to you, I'm not just a handsome face. I'm a man of thought. I'm a man of emotion. I'm a man of feeling, really, really deep feeling. So let's hear it.
I think Joel.
Ooh,
Joel's got a real
that's
nice
a
beard.
good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
For a man living off scraps in the apocalypse. Like that beard is like perfectly symmetrical. It looks like he went to the store and bought a box of like that touch of gray stuff. And
Yeah, dude, that's salt and
yeah,
pepper shit.
it's real good.
And,
That's a great beard.
I always wondered that, Maddie. Like as I was, and I'm not even fucking around. As I was playing The Last of Us for the first time, I'm like, this is the post-apocalypse, and they've been living this for what, 20 years, like 15, 20 years. Like, how is this beard so fucking well kept and perfect? Like, how is he doing that? I can't. Like,
I don't know.
I grow my shit up for a month, dude, and it's like a fucking a fucking forest is growing out of control. It's like, dude, after a month, my beard, like, it's like that line from Batman Begins when Ra's al Ghul is like, when a forest grows out of control, a purging fire is inevitable and natural. Like, that's my fucking beard after a month. I don't know how he does it.
I really hope we get full on Silver Fox Joel in the second one, though.
Oh, we will, dude.
I need that.
We will. That's a great. Wout in chat says good beard pick. That's a great fucking pick.
Such a good beard.
Let's move on to Justin. Give us a beard that not only looks good but also displays a sensitive side. It says
Not
like
only
this.
that-
I don't just have this iron exterior. It's not really who I am. This beard. I'm not just this beard. I am more.
No, well, given that is just like there's also somebody who moved beard technology forward, and that's a CJ Project Where Geralt.
I was waiting for
3.
somebody to say Geralt.
Yeah.
I was
If you play it
waiting.
on PC, it has physics. The beard moves,
Beard physics.
Clutch.
and it
I was-
grows to the length you want it to.
I was
And-
waiting for
oh
this.
my
Yep.
god.
The best part
but-
about Witcher 3.
Yeah, but speaking about iron exterior, Sir Arthur, Ghouls and Ghosts, shout out, great
That's
beard.
a good one. That's a
Uh,
really good one, dude. That's
a
old school right
solid.
there. That's old school. Like what does Geralt's beard say to you? Like when it gets real long and thick and bushy after like days and
I've
weeks on the road.
I've seen some shit. That's what it says to me.
Yeah, like I don't know. I feel like his beard when it gets really long is almost a mask. It's like a shield for him. He's like, you know what? I'm trying to keep the rest of the world out. Like I've been through a lot. And
That's how I feel about my beard.
It's that Cormac McCarthy's The Road, like vicious but haunted look on Viggo Mortensen's face.
Yeah.
All right, what about Manny? Manny, I want to hear about a beard that
Yeah.
I want to hear about a beard that says to you, you know what? There's a time for war. There's a time for love, and I'm an expert. I'm an expert in both.
Okay.
So let's hear.
I'm gonna do. Hang on here. I'm gonna do a little bit of this. I'm going with my buddy Zangief.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah.
Pull it up. Look at that! Oh shit,
Very
that's
nice.
nice.
Good
That's
man.
real nice.
Zangief.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the most
Oh,
important
screen
thing
share, duh.
is the angles, right? These angles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I just
Not
want to point
only-
out that Manny right now is in the lead because he's fucking breaking it down with a diagram. So Manny,
That's
please
right.
continue.
Yo.
So I think the angles of Zangief's beard matched with the angles of his mohawk, matched with the angles, the aggressive angles I would add of his chest hair, which is
Oh,
super
symmetry,
localized to his
symmetry.
sternum area. I think he's got a love for his country, right? He's fighting on behalf of his country, but he also knows that once the fight starts, it is time for war. So I think that beard shows both sides of Zangief. Top beard, I'd say, classic.
Plus, I
Also-
also have a feeling that Zangief is just a gentle lover, probably.
Yeah.
So,
Also, his
like,
chest hair is literally an arrow pointing downward at his crotch.
It is,
so-
yeah. So this is the first entry on our list.
Little
here.
cheekiness too.
Yeah.
This is the first entry on our list that we're not just talking about the beard, but we're talking about the feng shui of the body hair.
Right.
We got those raccoons strapped to his knees.
Everything. Who was that? Big Wigs 77 in chat says Zangief is a gracious lover.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means, but it's great. I'm stealing it. But no, like so Zangief right now, I would say is probably in the lead simply because of like it's not just the beard, it's the way that every stitch of hair kind of comes together to form that there's a time for pain, but there's a time for tenderness as well. And I feel like
Sometimes,
I feel like
at the same
Zangief
time,
really exudes that.
For Zangief,
What's that?
sometimes the pain and the tenderness come at the same time with Zangief.
They really do. Man, this is some deep Zangief talk here. Like this is the deepest conversation I've ever had about Zangief.
Yeah.
Ever.
Same,
And I've had a lot of conversations about Zangief, like practically every fucking week.
Your life has been shallow till now.
She has, absolutely. Yeah. Jay, let's talking about Jesus. I'm so deep in the beard talk, I can't talk about Jay, I want to hear about a beard that when you look at it, hell, even when you touch it, when you experience it, this beard says to you, you know what? I'm only growing my beard now because I wasn't ready for it earlier in life.
Okay,
Like,
so this isn't like a really strange choice, and it only happens in the game for like 30 minutes. But in Final Fantasy 12, there's a point where you go into like the underground prison.
I already know
and
what you're talking about.
Bosch
Yeah.
Captain
has
Bosch
that.
is like caged
Bosch.
up.
Well, hold on. Are you
But he has
referring to
this long
Captain Bosch von Ronsenberg of Dalmasca?
And yeah, I am. But you find like in this like cell, and he has this really long beard going on, and you're like, hell yeah, that's a war hero.
That's fucking
I'm
dude.
into
That's real good. Oh, that's a good shout out too. Like, and I
And
want
to me, I started playing Final Fantasy when I like around Final Fantasy 7 because that's when I was like growing up, and I think that's the first time I ever seen a Final Fantasy character with a beard. So it really stood out to me.
Well, no, there's Barrett.
No, Barrett-
Also,
Barrett had a
great
beard.
beard. Great beard.
Barrett
But-
has. He's right.
Good
Barrett has a
cut.
beard.
Good cut.
Well, I'd like to propose
They're extreme, and Amaranth Coral in 9 has one too, but his is like
Man.
the white boy chin strap.
No.
Like I
Earlier
say
than that,
with kind
Sid.
of, but
Sid in Final Fantasy IV had
and
a
there's
beard.
like
You're right.
Kamari, but like that's
Okay.
really furry
I will
stuff. So like, I
say
don't-
this: how many beards in video games don't we like? Are there any beards?
Well,
that
hold
we're
on.
just,
I
like,
haven't given my
not
beard
into?
yet. Hold on a minute.
Well,
Hold on.
yeah,
I got
Easy,
one.
I don't wanna-
relax,
Yeah, I go
relax.
Captain Bosch when he's in prison.
No,
for, like,
Golf,
30
yeah.
minutes.
Okay, Captain Bosch in prison that's a solid choice. These beards don't have to be permanent. We've established that with Geralt, right? Like Bosch's beard said, "I'm in a dark place right now. I'm trying to hold it together as best as I could." And when he was done, he didn't need the beard to prop him up anymore. He got rid of it. So I feel like there's a lot of meaning behind that beard. By the way, I just want to point out this is probably the best fucking conversation we've ever had on this podcast.
I feel
So-
honored to be
so-
a part of this conversation.
I thought long and hard about this. Probably longer and harder today than I should have. About which beard I would pick.
did you think deeply about it?
I did, and I tried to think of a beard that not only would move me on a physical level, but also just on a spiritual level as well. Like I wanted to find a beard that would like elevate me, elevate my mind, And I considered a lot of them, like Ryu from Street Fighter V, had a pretty dope fucking beard.
Dad
like,
Ryu has a great beard.
That's
yeah.
a good. That's a good fucking beard. Dr. Robotnik, he fucking counts. Like that. That's a bold choice of facial hair. It says a lot.
Dr.
about
Light, Santa Claus.
Dr. Light had a great
Yeah.
fucking Comstock. He may be a piece of shit from Bioshock Infinite, but
It's a good beard though.
That beard is
Really
like
good beard.
it's like he's growing a cloud on his face.
It's like
What was the
Frankie
name of the bad guy in Resident Evil 4?
Chief Mendez.
Yeah.
you're talking about the
The village chief.
Yeah, that's
not,
Mendez. Torres
bald guy
Mendez.
with a beard.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He had a
one
long,
of the first section's main boss. Yeah.
yeah.
Great
He had a long
Great
fucking
boss
beard,
fight.
but here's my beard. I thought long and hard about this, and I'm glad nobody said it yet. I gotta give it to my boy Kratos.
I knew it was coming.
From God of War, and I will harken back to a conversation that I had with Cory Barlog himself at PAX West. We were sitting at a table, and for about 45 minutes, Cory Barlog and I were talking about the first frame of God of War. And this is going to be the deepest fucking beard opinion I've ever had in my life. But there's a look on Kratos' face that I thought encapsulated the haunting look of a soldier who is looking back on years of things that he's done, full of regret. And when he's looking at that handprint on the tree, he's not just wanting to chop the tree down. He's thinking, you can see in his face that he is years in the past now, thinking about all the mistakes he's made. And it's the fucking beard that pulled it all together. I feel like the beard is his penance. The beard is like he used to wear the he used to wear the gauntlets, or not the gauntlets, but the blades. Now he wears the beard in penance. The beard chains him to the past, but also offers him redemption and hope for the future. Plus, it looks fucking badass.
Looks fantastic.
So that's a fucking fierce looking beard. So my vote goes to Kratos from God of War, because the beard is just reinventing who he is. Like I feel like the beard not only exists on his face, but it exists in his heart and his soul as well. That's what I think personally. And if anybody disagrees, then you're wrong.
All right, but what about Mike Hagar?
That's a mustache.
I feel
That
like
beard, well, we're talking facial hair in general, so
no. What I'm going to say is I feel like Chief Irons
'Cause we
in
counted
Resident Evil 2
Snake
Chief
with-
Irons pulled it off better.
Now, if you want an emotional beard, we could talk about Dom in Gears of War 3.
Yeah.
That was
Oh.
on his
That was a
face.
good
That's a good one.
Wait, hold on. Soul Patch or like the gray beard?
No, the beard, his mourning beard, man, after he lost his wife and everything. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that beard.
yeah, he
Very-
throws it out in
very
3.
thick
He's
beard.
just
The morning
beautiful.
beard, the morning beard is solid though. Like that's always a solid beard choice. When you grow a beard in morning, that's always really
Yeah.
meaningful and soulful.
And I guess Marcus, he did his beard in 4 as well. So I mean, but still, no, it's just like his beard had meaning. Like he just that was all that's left of him right there, man. That was it.
So yeah, that's fucking deep, man. So Manny had asked, what are beards that we don't like? And I think right off the bat, fucking Zeus from God of War. I don't like that fucking beard. I
So
don't.
bad.
Like
Yeah.
he's got like shit tied in it. Like there's like clasps in his beard, and I don't feel like
Also,
you
not
need metal in your
totally-
beard.
Not totally considered a beard, but the goatee that Kratos has in the earlier games, I think is very.
He
so
could just shake it
bad.
off.
It's emblematic of the times because like that was hot in
Yeah,
the
now-
90s, in the early 2000s.
That's
But
back
that
when Ed
is-
Kowalczyk from Live had a soul patch, and everybody was like, yeah, we
Oh,
got to give our characters a soul
We
patch.
missed.
He's
the
like,
most-
yo, have you listened to the new Limp Bizkit album? Fucking rad.
Chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavored water. I love it.
we missed
Cranky
the
Kong.
so
Trim that
fast.
shit.
I'm gonna give out
What
some
can I
like some insider SDGC group chat stuff.
Oh, shit.
I link Nuki in the group chat at least like twice a week.
Yeah, he does. Yep, it's terrible.
I feel bad for y'all.
It's fucking awful.
But here's the thing. I think Break Stuff comes on first, and then Nuki on that album, and they're back to back.
Okay,
and
we
it's
are
like a-
not rating
it's like
fucking
great
Limp
stuff.
Bizkit songs in this podcast. I'm sorry, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. I'm sorry, Jay. There will be no.
To vote for break stuff.
There will be no. So I want to hear. And it doesn't matter who. I want to hear about another bad beard. We've talked about the good beards, but some beards are better than other beards, and I want.
I've got a hot take.
Oh, let's hear that.
I've got a very hot take.
Do it. Drop it, dude.
Torbjorn has a terrible fucking beard.
He does have a terrible beard.
If you've got that much beard and you specifically like separate that shit in two and braid it down the way he does,
Yeah.
like I'm sorry,
That's-
you look fucking stupid.
That's such a Blizzard beard. You know what I mean? Like. in
Oh,
some
I
cases,
am
yeah,
aware. It's a very Blizzard beard. I'm just looking at it right now and I hate it.
It's really
Like,
fucking bad.
Yeah.
He's
It's really
he's
fucking
he's
bad.
got like Swedish locks and I get it. Like the braided locks, the thick braided locks is a big like Scandinavian thing. Don't do that with your
Yeah.
beard, man. Do the Viking thing where you have the tiny little ones in with the thick beard, but this
Yeah.
shit is just not
I also
acceptable.
want to point out. I think we missed. I think we missed this guy here. That's a good beard.
Oh,
That's
is
a
good
fantastic beard.
Oh,
King of
wow.
Hyrule.
That's
is
a damn good beard.
Look at so like real quick. Look at that. It looks like a perfect like waterfall made out of just like the most supple whipped cream.
And look
It's
at
like
the
that's
total
what it looks like.
connectivity here. Look at that.
Softly whipped.
It looks like really softly, finely whipped cream.
That.
Like that's what like I kind of want to.
Yeah, his hair and sideburns have to be super long too to like actually
Yeah.
flow into it super well. You know he oils that shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
look
oh,
at
yeah.
that.
Because you can't tell where like the soft fine head hair turns into that wiry coarse
Yeah.
beard hair.
Like I want to.
That's-
I want
He
to.
takes
I want to
sleep in
put
this.
his beard on a pastry and just like put it. Like,
it.
I just want to eat it. And, like it's just that's.
That man
glorious.
uses a jar of coconut oil daily,
He
and
really
it's
takes-
worth it.
I think that beard
Better
is coconut
care
oil.
of his beard than he does of his kingdom.
He does. Yeah, he really does. Yeah.
It's true. He fucked
Maybe,
up along the way.
maybe if the King
Yeah.
of Hyrule had spent more attention to I don't know keeping Ganon in check than his fucking luscious beard, then maybe Breath of the Wild would never have had to have fucking happened. I mean, let's
Oof.
consider that. You know,
Oof.
Yeah.
somebody in chat said this is getting weird. Of course, it's getting weird. This is
Yeah,
SDGC.
I've
What
got
do you
another
expect?
one. Dr. Wiley, go fuck yourself. That facial hair choice, you can't wear a mustache when your head already looks like a nose,
No.
and you've got the hair that makes it look like your hair is a mustache. Like,
Actually, I want to say one really quickly as well.
Okay, go ahead.
Jack
please.
from Jack 2.
Jack from
Mhm.
Jack from what?
oh, Jack,
Yeah.
Jack 2, the sequel to Jack and Daxter. You remember they dropped Daxter's
right,
name
right,
because he wasn't
okay.
good enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know what you're talking
He had
about.
that soul patch.
yeah.
Oh,
I listen to Limp Bizkit. Fred Durst is my idol.
So I feel like there was a
He's like, I'm
beard.
evil and stuff now. Also, quick shout out to Pac-Man because he's like old now, so I'm sure he has a beard.
Pac-Man probably does have a fucking beard.
equally sure it's not good.
But his whole face.
It's
is
invisible, but like he's
Yeah.
old. Like, he has a beard
Yeah.
by now.
So I think another bad beard you got to shout out is the beard that the main character in Ride to Hell Redemption has, simply because One, that's a shitty game, and two, like the beard has no textures at all. It just looks like somebody painted a beard on his face.
Yeah.
But I feel like there was a good beard that we missed, and that is Max Payne's beard in Max Payne 3.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yes.
That's a solid.
Fits the character perfectly.
Well,
too.
do you know that? But the bald head and the fucking aviator sunglasses, like, dude, that really ties.
It's
the whole
so
thing.
good.
And that's a regret beard.
That
Like
Miami
Kratos.
look. Oof.
Yeah,
that is a regret beard.
That's a
sure.
fucking regret beard. Like, and I have had, I trust me, guys, I've had a fucking regret beard in my life. Okay, like, I know what a regret beard looks like. This is, by the way, we should do a Twitter poll after we're done here, like tomorrow morning. We need to do a Twitter poll about who actually has it, because I don't feel like we've settled it here. You know, I don't feel like anything here is definitive, because let's be honest, we've all had some great choices. Like we've also shit. Who just said that in chat? Bigwigs 007. John Marston had a beard.
Yo, that's a good one. That's a good one.
He had the Scar beard. He had those bear claws.
That's some shit, man.
Cranky Kong.
I forgot a really good beard. The Keen Onion from Overcooked has a really good mustache. It's really
a good mustache.
You know, speaking of onions who have beard, another one who has a pretty dope mustache is Chop Chop Master Onion in Parappa the Rapper.
Mm-hmm.
You got to shout it out to him, man. He
That's
really
true.
rocked the Fu Manchu beard.
Rapper is a top 5 game of all time. So
pretty damn good.
So I feel like I feel like we should end the podcast now, simply because I don't think the conversations are gonna get better than what just happened. Like that was
just listing beards.
That was
I've got one
fucking
more
magical.
terrible one.
Oh,
I've got one more terrible one.
Please.
Somebody brought up the character before, but I want to do this game specifically. The Prince of Persia, explicitly in Sands of Time. Not we're talking the later games. The later games where they got worse, he had a better beard because the beard was more full, or at least covered more of his face. But Sands of Time, all he had was this shit right here. That it's okay, dude. I'm in my 20s and she's 15, but she's really mature her age kind of beard.
That's exactly what the fucking beard was. Hey, Derek, did we have a question that you wrote down?
Yes, we did, and it's from Big Wigs. All right. Question is, what is your guilty pleasure game? A game that most think is bad, but you love. John, you can start and go with Octopath.
Fuck you. You go.
I actually love Octopath. I just wanted to
go fuck yourself. First of all, second of all, that game got great fucking reviews.
I loved Octopath.
It's a wonderful fucking game.
I just wanted to set you off.
Yeah, and you did. Congratulations, you fucking piece of shit, asshole. You're off the
I'm fired.
You're off the podcast. Jay will be assuming all your duties from here on out.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
So anyway, Derek's done. Get your ass back here. So
I'm trying. It's hard.
A guilty pleasure game. You know what, Maddie? I want Maddie to start.
Oh, hurt my back a bit.
Do you say Manny or Maddie?
Maddie.
Yeah.
I want Maddie to start.
Maddie? Okay. Medal of Honor 2010. I love that game so much. And I think I got all 1,000 gamer score on Xbox 360, which required playing multiplayer for like 48 hours total. And I beat Tier 1 mode, which was like the permadeath thing. And then in hindsight, I realized that game's not great, but I still love it.
Tanya in chat says mine is, and guys, people in chat, throw yours out as well. Tanya says mine is Dragon Age 2 because people feel a way about it. They do actually feel like that's. I didn't have a problem with Dragon Age 2. I liked Hawk as a character, and I thought the city was interesting, so I thought the game was fine. I thought it was really good.
I think 2's the best in the series, to be honest.
I know a lot of people who feel the same way.
Yeah, because I like the plot in that one a lot.
I thought I'd make Josh prick up in chat.
Yeah. Josh is like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's move on to Manny. Manny, what's a guilty pleasure game for you?
Yeah, I have two. One of them has been like my sort of always in the background game, and that's FIFA. And I say it's a guilty pleasure game because I, as a soccer fan, like the sport, I love it and it's very fun. But I also realize it's like EA, it's a fucking cash grab. Half the time, it's just a fucking roster update every single year. But I love it because I like the sport. But more recently, I would say Quake Champions. I am enjoying that game so much right now and having a blast with it. And I totally recognize that it has its faults. And usually there's no more than 2,000 people playing it any given night of the week. But I love it. So that's my guilty pleasure right now.
Okay, awesome. Justin, give us a guilty pleasure.
It's not anymore. I finally grew out of this because I haven't touched one forever. But Musou games, mainly Dynasty Warriors, was my guilty pleasure game.
But they are good.
They were fine.
Not anymore.
I heard the last one wasn't good at all. Like people don't like it.
It's so bad. They try to make it an open world. It didn't work. There's nothing in that world, and but no, like the older Dynasty Warrior games, definitely my guilty pleasure games. Just haven't gone to them in a while though. So I think I finally broke that habit. But granted, that's because I'm flooded with a bunch of games to play.
And Derek, let's hear, dude. Let's get a good guilty. Well, not a good one, but a bad guilty pleasure game.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Not a good
I
one.
only have good taste, so
Not a
no.
good one.
So it kills me because like I love Muso games, so it breaks my heart to hear somebody say that because like you could put any franchise I love and make a Muso game out of it, and I'll fucking buy it. I don't give a shit. They can be like Seinfeld Warriors, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna buy it. Let's go. Meaning Costanza.
Dude, now I've got this image of like a Seinfeld Muso game, and like every time somebody comes onto the battlefield, you hear that.
Yeah, exactly. Deep in my heart, like I pray for a Castlevania Warriors every day. But oh man, I don't know. So obviously Nintendo doesn't love it enough because they let the trademark expire. But Custom Robo, I fucking love Custom Robo.
Ooh.
Reviewers kind of passed on it.
Yeah,
Players kind of passed on it. The one time it really got any kind of push to the West. Most people don't really give even enough of a shit about it to call it bad. Like I said, Nintendo let the trademark expire, so that's not a good sign.
Not at all.
But I love it so dearly, and I stan that game.
Awesome.
I stan it. I said that out loud.
Yes, you did. Don't ever do that again.
Fired twice.
Jay, what about you, man? I bet Jay's gonna say something like Super Mario World.
No, because I've only played the first level and I didn't like it, so it doesn't count. I guess I have to go with a sports game here. I've been buying 2K every year since 2004. I do at least every year. It's really bad at this point.
I thought those games were.
That's
popular,
impressive.
though. Those games aren't popular. I thought those games were like well regarded though. No?
Those games are super popular, but oh my god, like
they're
they
not
have
good?
like, the worst server issues and the cash grabs.
Okay, I see.
But my honestly my guilty pleasure game is Crash Bash.
Oh, that is. Oh God, dude, Jesus.
Which is like worse than any of the Mario
Yeah,
Party games, like the
Jay
last
has-
8 Mario Party.
Jay always has the most
It's
interesting takes.
My great grandmother, rest in peace, bought me like the Crash Bandicoot collection because they like released collections of Spyro and Crash Bandicoot back on the PlayStation 1. So it came with like Crash 3, and Team Racing and Crash Bash. And Crash Bash is just really bad. It's like imagine a game just full of like Mario Party like mini games, but none of them are good, and there's only 5 of them.
Yeah, they're all fucking terrible, dude. Jesus. Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know why. I don't know why I've kept my copy. And I don't know why my friends and I played it last week, but we did.
I feel bad for you, man. Like I feel like depressed. Like I want to hug you or something. Like, ew.
Do your friends come over anymore?
Well,
Dude.
no.
Yeah, dude, we played Monster Rancher 3 or 4,
Ooh.
whatever, for like 5 hours, like a couple weeks ago.
That's really.
I can see that one.
That sounds like a great time.
That sounds.
I don't know.
great.
See the problem.
So I could go with a few here. Oh man, what is a guilty pleasure game for me? The problem is that like all the games I like are really good. So I tend not to play games that are objectively bad, simply because playing a game that is objectively bad is not like watching a movie that's objectively bad. It's one of those instances where it's better to be a passive observer rather than an active participant. Having said that, I did have like a morbidly horrific / good time playing what I did of Ride to Hell Retribution. Simply because the game is so bad and terrible and awful that you almost like it's impossible not to laugh at just how bad that fucking game is. Actually, no, I take that back. I'll give you one because it's coming out. It's getting localized soon, but I've played it before. Metal Gear or Metal Wolf Chaos is just not a great game at all. But goddamn, if that game is not fucking entertaining as shit to play, like you cannot sit here and tell me that lines like "Julie, update me as to the status of the nation" are not fucking gold. And then like In that exchange, he's on Air Force One, and she starts telling him all this stuff, and he's like, Julie, how's my schedule look for today? And she starts talking about, like, oh, you got the prime minister at so-and-so, blah, 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 blah. And then fucking President Michael Wilson says, Julie, tell the prime minister I won't be able to make it. I'm headed out to save America. Like, the fucking awesome.
Are you sure this is Metal Gear Solid?
No, this is Metal Wolf Chaos.
This sounds like fucking Metal Gear Solid.
No, dude, it's Metal Wolf Chaos, where President Michael Wilson pilots a fucking mech suit to defeat the coup d'etat forces. That's what they're called in the game.
Colonel.
The coup d'etat forces.
I'm like so excited.
Need to go save America.
I'm so excited for that game. I'm buying like 43 copies of it just to justify Final Fantasy VI's place in our list.
Cool, dude. That's awesome. It's a great story, Jay.
Can I go back and change my take? Because I've got a worse one.
Yes.
I've got a worse one. Sonic R.
That's a really bad fucking
Sonic
game.
R is really good though.
That's a really bad fucking game.
Sonic R is really good. Have you listened to the soundtrack?
Oh, I kind of love Sonic R and can find nothing wrong with it.
No, it's not. The game's trash. It's fucking
The
terrible.
game's good. The game's good.
No.
I do know John's future guilty pleasure, and that will be The Quiet Man.
I was gonna say that. It absolutely fucking will. It absolutely fucking will. And so the plan is Anthony Agnello at the Escapist and Continue podcast and I are planning on streaming that game and dubbing all the lines ourselves, because there's not a single line of spoken dialogue in that game. Not a single line.
I love it.
They're talking. You just can't hear it.
You just can't hear him. You can't hear him at all. There's no subtitles, so So we are going to dub the entire
Please
game
bring me in
ourselves.
on this.
Oh, please, no, Derek, you're welcome. We're each gonna have.
You've heard the kind of bullshit that I spout off completely unprompted.
So
like...
Derek and Anthony and I, we're each gonna assign ourselves characters, and we are going to speak exclusively for those characters.
That's
like because that main character, just like every time he opens his mouth, I imagine him saying, I got to go back to being a Keanu Reeves hair model in 1984. Like that's just how he comes off to me. But anyway, let's go ahead and start wrapping it up here, because we are at the hour and a half mark. I didn't think we'd be able to get to an hour and a half today, thanks to all the slow news.
Yeah.
But we made it,
It's that
guys.
beard talk, man.
It's that fucking
Yeah,
beard,
man.
dude. I told you, guys.
Between that and the Mario Party bitching, we got a lot
Guys
of,
in our
lot of
DM
mileage.
were like, John, you want to talk about beards?
That
And I'm
beard
like,
talk
fucking
really-
wait.
Filled out the podcast.
Oh, you could say that. I feel like we've all grown closer together now after
It
that
did
beard
get
talk.
A little hairy.
It did. It really
Something
really did.
rogue. I don't know.
But you know what? I feel like we were able to trim the conversation perfectly.
You son of a bitch! I was waiting for a gap. I was gonna say it's a good thing we didn't go long. We don't have to trim anything out of it. You
Yours
fuck.
was better though. Yours was better. Yours was much better. So
But I
if
didn't seize the moment.
So while Derek is combing the chat, why don't we go ahead and yes, I know. Why don't we go ahead and do some outros? Justin, where can people find you, man?
You can now find me at Justin_Glorious. Also, you can find me a bunch of constantly calibrating content. Just look constantly calibrating and find us. And this Monday, you can find me on Kind of Funny Games Daily, co-hosting probably with Greg Miller. We're not sure yet. And Josh will be on Tuesday.
Hell
Fantastic.
yeah, dude! I am so fucking happy for you guys. You deserve it. Man.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Seriously,
It's That's what I was in the middle of packing for.
fucking awesome, dude. And you took time out of your busy schedule to come talk about luscious beards and Mario Party
did.
with us. We
I
really
did.
appreciate that, man. You're a good friend.
I'm dedicated. Yeah.
Manny, dude, you've been a great guest. Where can people find you, man?
Yeah, you can find us at ombragaming.com. That's OMBRA Gaming. Podcast comes out every Wednesday, and we do a bunch of cool shit at our website, so check it out.
And and you guys know where to find the rest of us, so I won't bother you guys. Everybody who's been watching this podcast for any amount of time knows where to find us. We're all over the place. I will say, I'll remind everybody that I myself will be traveling out to San Francisco to co-host Kind of Funny Games Daily with Greg Miller on November 15th.
So awesome.
Yep, and Manny, I'm gonna put in a good word for you.
That'd be great.
You know it, baby. I got you. But I don't know if I don't know if Justin and Josh are as nervous as I fucking am about this.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah.
You guys are gonna be awesome.
Don't be nervous. You got it, John. You got it.
Yeah, we all got it. We all got it. And don't forget, we are going to be streaming some Forza Horizon 4 this Saturday right here on the Twitch channel. at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So feel free to drop in and pay us a visit. We'll be snarky just like we were. Do our Mario Kart. We had a great fucking time streaming Mario Kart with everybody. That was a blast. I think, Derek, we're planning on doing that again real soon.
Yeah, I'm in for any kind of weird gaming streaming stuff that you guys are doing, as long as it's before I have to go to work.
And you'll
be my weird schedule.
Well, and you'll be able to find all these streams. We got a few new playlists on our YouTube channel. One is the one where our community game streams, which we're doing weekly now, are going to be called SDGC After Hours, and you can find those on our channel. It's a brand new playlist. We're going to do that every week. And for our pre-recorded content, we're recording something this week about the Harry Potter game. We're going to speculate about that, talk about what we want to see, what we'd like to see, what we think we're going to see, and when we're going to see it. And we still don't quite have a name for that segment yet. We were tossing around a few internal ideas, but whenever we name it, it'll pop up there. And as always, please follow us on Twitter at official SDGC. So go ahead and subscribe to us right here on Twitch if you haven't, and also visit our YouTube page, youtube.com/ShootPerformGamesCast. And of course, you can also find all of our podcasts and content archived on SoundCloud. So just look for official SDGC on SoundCloud. And if nobody has anything else, as always, it's not always poetry. We don't always agree, but we always keep it real. So until next week, take care of each other, and we will see you guys later.
Octopath Traveler is a bad JRPG.